Hi everybody, Jim Sammons here from the Kayak Fishing Show. On this week's Kayak Fishing Tales, we are in one of our favorite places, Costa Rica, with our good buddy Esteban from Blackbeard Fishing Company. We're also targeting one of our favorite fish, and that's roosterfish. We're getting on some of these big fish in a beautiful location. Enjoy the video. We're out here about a mile off the beach working a little high spot. Every time I get over the high spot, it's covered with bait. There's been some blow-ups. There's definitely fish around here. So I'm just using the GPS to keep myself over the spot. There's a pretty good current, so you drift through, make some casts, soak the bait, and then paddle back.
It was funny because I didn't feel the bite at first. I was actually reeling in the rod to check on my bait, and I felt the tug, and I thought I was tangled on the rocks. And then the fish started peeling line. That's when I knew I was hooked up again. After the first run, he was coming up very easily, so I figured it was something small, and I was just kind of reeling it, taking my time. When he saw the boat, when he saw the kayak, he was like, oh boy, I don't want to get caught, and that's when he swam again, and that's when the real fight began. Good, 10 minutes later, he came up to the boat, splashed me quite a bit, which is good because I was hot. Nice release.
Generally speaking, when I catch roosterfish down in Baja, we're cruising along the edges of beaches, shallow water. The fish run away. They run out. So it's more your back is straight up, you lean back, and you just go for a sleigh ride. So it's a great fight because they're such strong fighters. Here yesterday we were catching the roosters on deep structure, and these fish fought more like a yellowtail, more straight up and down. So though my second fish wasn't as big as a lot of roosters I've ever caught, it fought just as hard because the position you get put in, you're more getting hunched over and bent over, and that fish is straight down. So it's a much harder fight when they're fighting deep like that. And when I brought my fish up, honestly, I thought it was going to be a 40 pounder at least, and it was maybe 20. Well, we've been fishing this area for the last couple of evenings. It's been kind of an evening bite here. And I marked in a couple of structure spots. There's actually 3 of them here. 1, 2, 3. Kind of see them a little better that way. You can see my path from today going zigzagging around it. So by marking in the spot, I'm able to keep going back to the same spot where that structure is. And then on the right hand side, I've got a split screen. So on the right hand side would be my fish finder. Right now I have it in regular fish finder mode. It's showing the water temperature of 87 degrees, 61 feet of water, little bait down near the bottom. So having that tool really has made the difference. It made the difference in me getting fish today, and it made the difference in me getting fish pretty much every day. Whether it's seeing the fish on the finder or being able to stay on the structure spot so we can get those fish that are around there. So what would happen when we were paddling into current trolling, the fish would hit, and then so you would grab your rod and you were drifting towards it, so it would hit and then it would immediately go straight down. So you weren't getting contact with it when it was still up on the surface, so it was swimming down, and that's where some of the air bladder issues were happening. But I had this incredible fish, and I mean these fish, I don't know if it's because they're used to swimming in this really strong current, but they just feel stronger than roosters I've caught in the past. I mean, they're just brutally strong. didn't want to have to physically swim again like I did with the prior big rooster. I didn't want to have to swim this one down. So, you know, take advantage of the resources you have. We have the camera boat there. I had this fish on a boga so they could hang on to the boga and drag the fish in the water and spend more time reviving it and moving forward, which is just a little bit hard to do in the kayak. Oh, big beautiful rooster. It's probably one of my biggest ever. But these fish, because we're catching them a little bit deep, they're kind of blowing up on us. So I'm gonna have the boat come over so they can pull it and give it a chance. I really don't want this fish to die. I really want to revive it. Yeah, you know, like I said, if you love the fish, you know, like I said, I got no problem eating fish, but there's certain fish that I really care for, that you really want to spend the time to make sure. I mean, that's an old fish, and want to make sure they're still around. Well, I think you can see why we enjoy catching rooster fish. They are just tough fish to catch and a lot of fun. We want to thank Mustad Hooks for being with us for so many years. You always want a hook you can rely on, and that's why we use Mustad. If you haven't done so already, please give us a thumbs up on the video and make sure you subscribe to Kayak Fishing Tales.